Hello everyone and welcome to the third installment of Building Budgie 11. In the last stream, I tackled keybind support and a lot of keybind related logic in Magpie, our mirror-based compositor. For example, keybind bits for detecting and converting mirror keyboard events into our own Q mirror input event modifiers and tying that into our configuration as well. So we have kconfig integrated. We have a Q file monitor as well, or file watcher to handle file watching, and a bunch of other stuff, which is pretty cool. And in this one, we are going to be continuing that because it was I was informed that there is a magical QKeySequence class, which I'll show in just a second here. There we go. Which should encapsulate a sequence of keys, for example, Control P being effectively Control and the cute key P. So effectively, it's a bit of a bitwise stuff, which is kind of cool. We're going to take a look at maybe leveraging that, seeing if we could trivially convert the mirror events into Q keys, which are then used in the QKeySequence. See how that goes. In addition to that, because this code has been organically growing, to say the least, we have a bunch of stuff like this process manager that needs to be moved out. I think mainly that. There's some logic here that we have for functions related to mirror that we tie in on this runner here. That might be worth moving out as well. We'll see about that one. And then start taking a look at some of the mirror classes, for example, floating window manager, which we can inherit and leverage and override. For example, overriding place new to have our own way of specifying positioning and all that based off different parameters such as the application info. That might be good if down the line we want to do something like session management, session restoration, and window position restoration. There are some other notable things I want to learn or try learning about. For example, there's a class here called Window Manager Tools that they have that allows you to get various information about Windows. That's obviously important if we want Windows-specific logic. And hopefully, and we'll see about this last one, because I'm not quite sure about this, is getting information about screens or outputs in the context of Wayland is what they're referred to as. But I'm not quite sure. They are just referred to as output here. Looks like, yes, class output. So we'll see. Looks like we could get information or we'll be notified about it through window manager policy, advise output create. So that'll be good. So we need to tie that into all of our cute logic at some point and start messing around with that. See what they have in terms of capabilities. It looks like it's a lot of getter information. So I'd be curious to see. They have display configuration here as a mural. So we would pass, I presume, the class and manipulate things that way. And that'll be important for when we want to implement particular output management protocols. For context, in Budgie 10.10, what we leverage is the WLR output management protocol. However, I want to transition Budgie desktop services to using WL output for getting output information because that should be more broadly supported, and then using KDE output management if possible. Because I suspect that this will have more of the properties like pixel format and maybe color related things that would be useful for, or that we could leverage as part of the KDE related spec. Because at least personally, I haven't found the WR output management protocol to be particularly adequate. So either we have our own, or we leverage a KDE one, or we have like a hybrid. It might be that we support a given protocol, but then the behavior of it is subtly different in a way. We shall see. Of course, that would make it not exactly spec compliant, but you know, we gotta do something to make it easier for ourselves, right? I mean, if we're building our own compositor, why would we make it harder for ourselves when we have the power to make it easier? So let's go ahead and just dive right in, right? So we're going to start off with this QKeySequence. So it documents that for standard keys, a standard key can be used to request platform-specific ones. There's custom ones, so you could specify human-readable strings, which would be very useful. And then we could specify hard-coded things. So it looks like we could specify a key combination. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that's all about here. Hey, that Linux dude. Oh, it's a little too zoomed in even for me. There we go. All right, so we have a QKeySequence class, which could be used to represent a combination of a key with 0 or more keyboard modifiers, which is exactly what I would want. So you'd specify keyboard modifiers, which themselves are a different class. Or maybe is it just an enum? Let's see. Keyboard modifier enum. Okay, so it's just an enum. So if I grab that, looks like there's shift modifier, control modifier, alt modifier, meta modifier, keypad modifier, and group switch modifier, which is X11 only. So we won't worry about that. The ones that we are particularly interested in are shift, control, alt, and meta. Not so much keypad. That might be useful for down the line if we ever have our own like graphical alternative shell for mobile gaming devices, but other than that, probably not. At least not in the. I can't foresee it in the immediate future. So we could construct a QKeySequence from that, or this is even better. We could do it from a string. So if I go to, that is literally the definition. Well, it should be pretty obvious. I would suspect it's just control. So we get the sequence. Here we are. So they have tr whatever. So we would do tr, and then the key. I believe the tr is translatable. Is that what that is? The qtr, qt6tr, like translation string. Yeah, cute linguistic tr function. I wonder if it doesn't look like though when I was looking at it, it has to be. No, it could just be a Q string, so we don't have to pass it into tr. So that would be handy for that, but of course that only handles our config into QKeySequence thing. Like that's one side of it. The other side is matching up the ones from the mirror side. So that would be a little bit more fun. And those will be, I suspect, a combination, not literally Q key combination. Let's see. Although, because we're already doing the stringification, right? Theoretically, we can, well, I guess that's leveraging our keybind stuff already. We'll figure something out, hopefully. So if I go, so it's from key, list to string, which is quite handy. So that'll make it way easier for us to translate this to a string. And hopefully it'll do it in a sensible way where it would be like control alt and something. It's that. So there are standard shortcuts, which is, do they have, defines many shortcuts to reduce the amount of effort required when setting up actions in typical applications. That I don't think we'll take advantage of. That would be useful for actual applications, but in our case, I'm not quite sure. So a Q key is composed of a Qt key. So if we take a look at Qt key, we'll be able to figure out, oh, so that's literally just an enum with a given value. So can we figure a way to get a Q key? I suppose in theory it would just be that we do it from a sequence. Is there a way of doing it from a string? Turn up the volume. There we go. Let's see. QKeySequence, a toString. Because it's worth remembering that we have this logic here which converts the XKB key sims into a UTF-8, the UTF-8 equivalent. So this would be, for example, if we get the modifiers, those are fine. So that would be like Control and Alt and whatever. But then, for example, if we were to do Control Alt B, the B part would actually be this key here. It's not part of these mods. And for some reason, their other bit, which is like the event string, doesn't actually, it just provides it as an empty string on key down. So that's a bit of a strange one. That's probably intentional on their part. But so we do have a from string. So we could literally just do, it'd be a bit cheese. We get the combinations. Those we could easily enough map to... Can we add? We have a sequence match, that's quite handy. Exact match, partial or none. All right. This is from all the way up. QKeySequence for undo. Yeah, so those are their constants. We could ignore those. Native text and portable text. Let's see. Get new Emacs style key sequences. Control X, Control C. Right. I mean, ours would just be this, not comma separated. But that does actually raise a good point about the key sequence. We should actually support that, because that is something that is quite common in IDEs where you'll have like a Control K, and then you'll enter one letter after that to indicate what you want to do for a given, say, command palette or something. So we should really make sure we have support for that. But if we're taking advantage of QKeySequence everywhere, then that shouldn't be an issue. See also Q shortcut. All right. Used to create keyboard shortcuts. So there's a GUI one. So it could take a bunch of different keys. Standard key, context, window shortcuts. Provides a way of connecting keyboard shortcuts to Qt's signal and slot system, so that objects can be informed when a shortcut is executed. So you would build a shortcut from a key sequence. So that probably isn't what we're wanting. I guess hypothetically speaking, you might be able to tie that into the QCore application, but I suspect it's probably reliant on it being a QGUI application. I mean, it is in QGUI to begin with. So let's map out this, otherwise we're going to be going in circles here. So we have all this stuff. We could probably wipe out this, I think. Oh, this might be useful. So let's map things up. We have our config, right? So our config has this kind of stuff. 1. So if we're going from config to keybind, and hold on, let me just move this off screen and turn off this stupid thing again that keeps enabling AI. What is this? Where is it again? It's going to be under edit predictions, isn't it? Yes. I don't know why it decided to re-enable itself. That's great. All right, it's off. Cool. So, going from... is it... Okay, good. So it's just remnant. So we're going from that to, I would say, a sequence of some sort. So, and then we have the mirror side, which is going from their modifier. So we still should have our QMirror input event modifier, and then map these internally to QKeys instead, or possibly QKeySequence. Is it that, or was it key combination? QKey combination with optional modifiers. With 0 or more keyboard modifiers. Yeah, so you would specify the keyboard modifiers and then the Q key. Okay, and then keyboard modifiers goes back to... I have to say, I wish these... There we go. Launch B, launch A. Control, let's see. Dead keys. My god, it is insane how many things they have. Where keyboard modifiers. Yeah, so we would do control modifier, alt modifier, meta modifier. So modifier would be a Q. This is really just our mirror input event modifier. Goes to these, map them internally to a mix of Q keyboard modifier and Q key. Construct sequence out of that. This will be QKeySequence by string. Something like that. We have those. And this would be probably here. So what we could do is have QMirror input event modifier. We do the from mirror here. And then this could take in our entire event as a constructor instead. So maybe notable changes we'll do probably onto mirror side, have a QMirror input event modifier. Modifier constructor that takes in the mirror keyboard event, constructs a full QKeySequence out of it. And then for comparisons, we take our mirror-based QKeySequence and compare it to our one in the keybind. So going from that to a sequence by string, stored in keybind, like that, or stored as a ref or something, right? Like it doesn't really matter how we store it, so long as we could consistently get it back. So that's my current line of thinking. for at least some of that implementation. How effective that'll be remains to be seen. So if we take a look at our keybind, yeah, this one is pretty simple, and we have like the set combo thing that might be a bit fun. But we could probably have a dedicated keybind from constructor, from config, I mean. And that would just generate this. So we have key and then modifiers. I don't think we need that distinction anymore. Instead, we will do something like this. Q property, QKeySequence. And we will call this just sequence, right? Read get sequence. So something like that. And then we will have a QKeySequence, and that will be get sequence, like so. We have these set actions. I'm not sure about these two. Maybe get rid of set actions, set combo. Let's actually have this maybe here, related to keybind. So if we try to address it from the config side, right? So if we take a look at that first. So we're iterating over each one of these. And we end up in a situation where we have this combination here. We then have, we split it up by the plus to get the key combo. And we set that basically as the first. So this would be like Control Alt plus whatever as the first thing, and then the second is like so. Oh wait, no, it is set combo is what we do for the keybind itself. Yeah, so actually we wouldn't even need to split this up into a queue. So let's just have this be a queue string. Do set sequence with a sequence string. We'll just call it sec like that. And we want to store our QKeySequence as M sequence. I think that would be pretty fair. I don't know if we'll need a pointer to it or something. Find out. Okay. Let's move this over here. So we have this key combination. We have these modifiers, which is set to none. We're going to rip that out. And same as key here. And then we need a M sequence, which is a QKeySequence. Can I just construct it as an empty thing? Don't think so. QKeySequence. Oh, okay. We can construct an empty QKeySequence. And to import this, we need to reference QKeySequence. Great. We're going to do that in our keybind.hpp. And it really wants to do it like that, which is not how I would do it. It can't be found. That's okay. That's pulled in from Qt GUI, which we are not requiring. So let's go ahead and in our, I would say this CMake, we need to reference Qt6 ::GUI, like so. And then I don't think we, oh my God, it really, okay, I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. It's a CMake here. We are not checking for it here. So we need to do Qt6 GUI, like so. If we do a test setup, I suspect that will cause it to work. But either way, we know it's a thing because we're looking right at it here. Components GUI, private Q6 : GUI, which we have. So I'm gonna just say that's a thing. And is it going to, I bet I have to build it. Let's see if I build it, if it then updates the compile command stuff. Set combo, nothing. All right. That's because we ripped it out, because we have a set sequence instead. In this. And this is just going to be our key combo, like so. So we can rip this out. We'll do what? Control Shift K. All right. So that should be squared away. Incomplete email type thing. Well, it's there. Okay, now it updated. Yeah, so it just took a moment. Great. Okay, so that is squared away. Now in our set combo, we're just gonna be getting rid of that, but we'll do a keybind set sequence, Q string sequence. And then this is going to be a from, I think we first have to create the key combination, or can we do it from string? From string. So what is this going to, is it just toString? All right. So M sequence is equal to, do I need to do a new? We'll just try QKeySequence. Like so. All right, that's much cleaner. And I'm getting bodoops from element, I assume. Let me see if it's something important. Let's see. It is not. It's just RISC-V stuff. Fantastic. All right. Well, let me close the element then. Let's see. Of course, as part of this QKeySequence thing, can we actually get, what is it inherent? Nothing. Public functions, combo from combined, sequence format, native key. All right, well, in theory, if I go back to this, so this should be done. Let's rip this out. Actually, we'll comment this one out just because I want to make sure the logic, like I'm not screwing up any logic. Then we need to do it from the mirror side, which is a bit of a fun one because this is actually just entirely an enum that we're then mapping. So I think it might, oh, I don't know if we want to keep these. I think we're gonna have to do this from quick keyboard modifiers. Which is, if I take a look at the keyboard modifiers, control modifier, alt modifier, etc. They don't really have much of those. They're keyboard modifiers. So they don't even have scroll lock in those as modifiers. They just treat them as keys, I suppose. See also modifier. So if we take a look at our key combination, these take in, we have those, and then we also have by modifiers as opposed to keyboard modifiers. So let's take a look at those. just modifiers. Provide shorter names. Okay. So that also isn't entirely what we want because that is just Shift, Meta, Control, and Alt. But they do map to these ones. But to these, for example, if I go to this, and if I do this, extra button, so that maps to cute. Extra button 24. Okay. As well as Windows stay on bottom hint. Oh, there is a keypad. Oh, is that what it means? Because I was thinking keypad for some reason, like I don't know, like the controller pad's not even this. Scroll lock, etc. I mean, do they even support caps lock here? Really? I mean, I guess you would rebind it to something else. You wouldn't necessarily have caps lock itself, like on custom keyboards. Like for example, I have a Helidux core, and it's like in the cabinet over there. I had remapped my caps lock, well, what they quote unquote equivalent to a caps lock, to just, I think I just mapped it to a super / meta key. So if I take a look at this, I think we might not end up supporting all of these. We do from string returns a modifier. How are we doing this? Public from mirror returns modifiers, which is, yeah, the Q flags of those. Because it maps a little funny. The most jank but easy way to do this would be to have a class, like I've proposed here, takes in this, we get all the modifiers. So I would say we leave all this the same. We do the string casted and convert them into a queue list. Oh. It not having a one-to-one mapping of these is a little annoying. Q key combination. Yeah, modifiers. Keyboard modifiers and then key. Modifiers and key of unknown. But this one is just modifiers. This one is from a combined, so this is just int. Constructs a Q key combination object by extracting the key and modifiers out of combined, which must be the result of a bitwise OR between a value of type Qt key and the value of type Qt keyboard modifiers. So, let's see, Qt modifiers.to combined can be used in order to produce valid values of combined. Let's take a look at this, I guess. Turns an integer value obtained by applying a bitwise OR between the values of key. Sure. What's the from combined? Is that literally just the same but inversed? Yes. Okay. So it's just between the values. There's a key combination that represents a combination of the key and modifier. But can we just do any old keys of a key combination? What operators does it support? I think I have to scroll up for this. I can't tell from the documentation. Like, I understand that's gonna work, but not equal. Yeah, that's fine. It also isn't clear, so we do key sequence, key combination, standard key, sequence format. So these would all map to that one modifier. So if we go, where is it? The problem is these freaking namespace things. Control and Alt. Keyboard modifiers type is a type depth of Q flags keyboard modifier. So we would do Q keyboard modifiers as the flag. That would work. So we can split them and construct. Let's see. We get the mirror event. We then. So what's the from mirror? Does a static cast of modifiers. None, alt, yada yada. I mean, they don't exactly have the most options here. Oh. I would still say our string thing might still sadly be the most ergonomic. Do from static int of qmods, which is their type def. No, it's our type def of modifiers. That's this one that we're looking for. So there's is the type def mirror mods, which are static casted to this. We do that, and then we have, instead of function, we keep from mirror the same on Q mirror input event modifier. Input event modifier. Then we have a static QKeySequence, right? Or maybe combination actually. QKeySequence is key and then the sequence. Yeah, so we would want to construct a common QKey combination. QC to key to KeySequence. Construct a Q would be from string. Two strings splits it. Split, similar. I mean, if we did that, actually, we could just two string gets those, right? And then from modifiers. ToString, take the string and construct a new QKeySequence. That might be the easiest way of doing that. So we have a static we'll do QKeySequence, which we need to include up here. I don't know why it's include QKeySequence, like so. To QKeySequence, and this is going to be, what we could do is actually just pass these directly in QMods. So the first thing is casted modifier. So we'll just do auto modifiers is equal to toMirror on QMods. If modifiers equals, this is going to be none. No, it's just going to be none. Return QKeySequence. So if we have no modifiers, return empty sequence. Now, of course, oh, actually we have, that's just for this, the input modifier. This might not actually belong in here. We might have to have a keybind. Like this is dead. This is dead. This is dead and dead. It's all dead. Action sequence name. So key can be removed here. Determine modifiers. That's just, I don't even think this is even valid. Are we even using that? Or do we literally not have? Okay, this all needs to be ripped out as well. Action sequence. So we need to do if m sequence dot is empty. All right. We don't need this. We do need a get sequence though. QKeySequence. And really this should, I think there should be a const, huh? Get sequence const. We don't want it being copied. Keybind get sequence. Const return m sequence. Something like that. So we take the input modifier, we get the QMods. This is all from the event. So to QKeySequence, this should actually just wholesale take our mirror keyboard event. Like so. And then we get the mods. Like so. Get the mods, we then do a from mirror on auto mods is equal to from mods. From mirror. We have modifier. This would be QMods. We have that, which is the QMods. So if we have no modifiers, then blah. And while we're at it, we will attempt to do this. Get any modifiers. I feel like this might belong in almost like a Q mirror keyboard event. And not here. I feel like I'm kind of muddying the waters here. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to have a new folder called mirror. We'll eventually have that Q mirror one in there as well. I have Q mirror keyboard event.hpp and Q mirror keyboard event.cpp. Like so. All right. So let's include QObject. Obviously, we're going to include QKeySequence, and we're going to have a public Q mirror keyboard event class, which is going to be a QObject. Let's reference like this, so that way I get all any properties that we want. Mix this up. All right, QObject. And I'm going to do also clear up at the top, pragma once. All right, I have Q property. We are going to have the sequence, I would say, QKeySequence. Read get sequence, like so. Public, have an explicit Q mirror keyboard event, which is going to take our mirror keyboard event and QObject parent is equal to null pointer, because it doesn't actually need to have a parent at all. That's entirely optional. This we need to pull in from the right thing, but it's not really catching it. So I think it's this enum from your toolkit. Is it not? Is it? Okay. There we go. Put that out then. All right. So we have that, and then we want to have a. Let's put in private. The QKeySequence mSequence. And since we have the opportunity, it might be worth us adding. Should we have the actual reference to the key combination? Maybe not, because we do have this toString here. It might actually only be necessary to have this. We'll add a QKeySequence, which is going to be get sequence, and it's going to be a const. So we have that. They include. Let me actually move my little note thing here over here. I'll include Q mirror keyboard event. So we have that. And then we're going to have our Q mirror keyboard event. Q mirror keyboard event. This is going to take in our mirror keyboard event. Don't need to pull that in already. That's already pulled in. Event. Yeah, I suppose I don't really need to do it like that. And QObject parent equals null player. Right. Oh. That up. Am I missing anything? What's it combining? Default argument. Yeah, this. There. All right. So we have that. Now what we'll do is this related logic we'll rip out and move. We have this like so. So we do, let's pull in our pound include q mirror input event modifier dot hpp. And this, I think, will only be used if I do what Control-Shift-F here. So this is in our CMake. It's in our config.cpp. And that itself. It's not used in keybind at all. That could be ripped out. It's good. Keybind.hpp. Determine modifiers. I don't even think we're actually. That's literally just in this. We don't even. Just delete that. There we go. Like, I guess these should be. Those should be private. Rip this out. All right. So we have this. Let's move this. And before we forget, let's update our CMake, because otherwise we're going to be into this and we're like, what the hell? Why isn't it doing anything that we want? Q mirror keyboard event.hpp mirror q mirror keyboard event.cpp. Okay, we have to move that. Technically, C comes before H. But I'd just like to specify headers first. Like I do here. No, you know what? I'm not going to break the pattern. Headers first. Screw the alphabet. Whatever do for us, you know? Q mirror input event modifier from mirror. So that will get us our Q mod. We then get our string buffer. And then we want to do a combination of, we convert it from mirror, that gets our Q mods, and then we do a to string, right? Which then combines them in the right order. Now, of course, I could do like a remapping thing of like, you know, map a Q mirror event modifier to something else. But I want to see what it does with things like numlock. That seems like that's going to be a little bit of fun. Probably not something I'm going to test today, though. To do that, we're going to do auto qmod as qmods combo is equal to qmods dot. Oh, actually, no, it's literally Q mirror input event modifier. Gosh. It would help if I could type, right? To string of qmods. So convert our mirror modifiers to a string like control plus alt. So we do that. And then we want to include, so we'll do something like auto return q. Oh wait, no, we have to do m sequence. Forgot this is in the constructor. QKeySequence from string. So we're gonna do qstring. Yeah, we need to do if This is going to be our full keybind, key combo. Is if we have a key dot, we'll do key dot. If it's not empty and it's not null, right? So, well, actually, do we have an is valid? No, so some things will have an is valid, like the Q shared pointer, which will check if something is both empty and null. This doesn't, so we're gonna have to do is valid, no, is empty, and not key is null. Now, of course, it's possible that the is empty does a null check. It might actually, if I check. No, is it not gonna let me bounce right into it? All right, well, whatever. Let's pretend it doesn't, but it probably does, because the mirror, the Q people are smart. We would do Q mod combo, Q string. Do this. So if actually I could just do this. Q mod combo plus plus key. Or can I do it like this? Or is this just gonna be running my brain because of the... Yeah. Somebody yell at me if there's a good way of doing the interpolation. But we're gonna just do plus key. Otherwise, it's just gonna be an empty string. So that'll be our full thing, right? So we construct that. So this is complaining about this empty prems or no closing prems. Add any key to the end of it. E.g. if B and combo is control plus alt, it would be control plus alt plus B. Something like that. We get our combo and then construct the sequence. And people say AI stuff is verbose. Look at me, I'm doing the very obvious thing of documenting the fact that we're constructing a sequence. So don't let it ever frickin' fool you. This is human-made code. Well, at least as far as any of us are human. Do that. And then we need a static... No, it's not static. It's just QKeySequence. Get sequence. Const. Return M sequence. Something like that, right? So we don't need this. Rip that up. What are you complaining about? Undeclared. Oh, let's actually set that to QKeySequence, like just an empty one. Doesn't know what M sequence is. Out of line definition. Is it because I'm missing the thing here? Hold on. I have to sandy check this. Oh no, it's because I'm forgetting to do the Q object thing. Lol. Q object parent. Yeah, it makes sense. You know, if you have something inherent, the other thing get it. See, non-member function. Well, that is because I have this as keyboard event : There we go. So that fixes that. So we have all this. We're gonna, I guess, keep that all the same. We're able to construct a keybind which has a sequence. So now in our main, we have a lot of this crap, right? Where is this? Enums. We're gonna do mirror / q mirror keyboard event.hpp. So we have our event here. So if it's not down, we just do that, right? We do q keyboard event is going to be a q mirror keyboard event. What did it do? Do this. Why is that not mirror keyboard event? No matching instructor. Well, yeah, I mean event. No matching conversion. Let's see. Functional style. Let's see. So there's a const keyboard event too. Ah, right. It's const. I see. Const. Or, you know what? We'll make it const. All right. So we now have a Q event there. So that cleans up a bunch of this stuff, which is great. And then we have this keybind. And then what we're doing is we iterate over all the keybinds. So if it's null, so basically it's like, oh, we don't know what the hell is going on here. What we can do is if q keyboard event dot, we'll do get sequence, and we're gonna say matches keybind get sequence. So if it doesn't match, we continue. So if this Q key sequence does not match, let's see, get modifiers, matches. So if it doesn't match, we continue. We can rip out all of this. So at this point, we know it matches. So that's good. Oh, I think I deleted the, yeah, I deleted the action. So we could rip out even more of this, which is great. So that is good. Wow, look at how clean this is. So this function, assuming it works, of course, right? Famous last words, but we have the built-in keys thing here, and it is like 25 lines of code, which is pretty good. I mean, of course, there's a lot backing it, right? All the other shenanigans. But let's see if it runs. Let's open up a new console. Control Shift N. Bring it over here. We'll first try building it. I mean, it looks like there's actually some errors here that's flagging, so let's fix these. Ah, right. Okay, so we need to re-import that, I think. Or is it from the... Ah, no, we don't even have to do that. With combo, this entire thing could be cleaned up, actually. So with sequence, we'll do keybind, actually, pointer data. So let's do the actual auto keybind is equal to keybind pointer dot data, right? So we'll do keybind here, and same for this, keybind here. And then for here, we'll do keybind get sequence dot toString. I'm curious to see what the portable text one is like. Keybind redefinition. Oh, yeah, I guess we don't need to do that, huh? I literally already have it here. Cool. Well, that works out. The set sequence, I don't like the name of this. We're gonna set sequence by string. Actually no, because we could have two. Here's what we're gonna do. In our keybind here, we're gonna have one which is a void set sequence, and this is going to be a QKeySequence sequence like that. So we can have two functions. We'll have one which is by string, keybind, set sequence, which is QKeySequence sec, and then this is literally just mSequence. mSequence is equal to sequence, like so. That way we'll have two functions which allow us to create this, which I think is all right. I mean, realistically, we could eventually just change the constructor because we have all the properties, but I want to keep it separate for now. mKey, that is going to be ripped out. That is no longer valid. mSequence is empty. That is also good. In theory, this will actually compile. It's a difference, though, you know, does it run? Well, of course, it would also help if I was in the right directory. Test build. Surprisingly, it built. We're gonna do Wayland host 99. We'll do it like this. Actually, no, I think then we fix our task run. Yeah, so we have our task run here. If I scroll all the way up, do we have here? Yes, keybind, control left, alt left, not already set, open key, Katie with sequence, blank right. So it is not mapping our control left, alt left. So let's close this. I'm curious what it will do on the Q event modifier. Because don't we map? Aha. Control, we'll do this. Control left is just going to be control. Alt left. What? No, does it not seriously differentiate between those? There's no way. So we take that, it goes into our Q sequence, which then goes here. We then have control. Key alt GR. Yeah, so that would just be, you know, my control and alt GR. Control. Hyper L. Direction L. So it might have it as like control L or something. Control L. Control also, what the hell? What's going on with the find thing here? Alt G, no, only Alt GR. So Qt does not differentiate, at the very least with this, between left and right. There's no way. There's no way. Really? Control. When a control key. So literally any control one. Well, that's a little bit of a ball ache, but okay. So we'll do control left, case control right. Alt left, alt right, not to be confused with, you know, anything else. And this will just be alt. Is there anything else that's left, right? Yeah, shift and meta need to be rebound. So case, alt, no, shift, I'll do meta. Meta left, case, meta right. Return. So it's the music's a bit. There we go. Let me turn it up a little bit there. Let me know if the music's too loud, please. Turn meta. And then we'll do shift left, case, shift right, and return shift. So that will be those from string. But where is this used then? Here. So we map that. So we're gonna have to, unfortunately, manually modify. I know, it's disgusting. Let's go cd.config. Fortunately, literally nobody is using this yet, so I could do whatever the hell I want. Control left. And let's replace this with control. What? Oh, I have to do this. Control left. Control. All instances. And then we have alt left. And just replace this with the alt. All instances. All right, so that should, I would expect, remap things. Let's see. Task run. So we have all this now. If I go, I keep forgetting to do the scroll buffer thing of clearing that. But, okay. Not in sequence, and so it is mapping it to a sequence. It's not differentiating between upper and lower case for the keys, but like, let's see if it actually works, if it's fine. So let's open up maybe, oh, it's still doing this. Control, did I forget to fix that one? Control left, alt. Or is this one of our hard-coded? This might be one of our hard-coded values. You know what it is. Control and alt. So we're going to close this again. And we're going to do task build. Task run. All right. So now if I do Control Alt K. All right, that actually worked. I'm kind of surprised I basically one-shot that. Okay, it was technically two-shot, but that's because on the first shot I spotted something and I wanted to clean it up first. I hadn't actually tested it. So I'm calling it one-shotting on that. Nice. So we converted this to the sequence. So let's just commit it immediately, you know? So we're gonna do source and add CMake list. Commit this, feat convert to using QKeySequence, move mirror bits to own folder, implemented feat implemented mirror keyboard event to more trivially convert mirror keyboard event into a QKeySequence. It's not perfect, but you know what? It works, right? And I would rather have functional code than code that's like, oh, well, it doesn't do X, Y, and Z. It doesn't look a certain way. All right. So that is all squared away. Now we're going to do a little bit more code cleanup here. Hey, wait. So I go to our main. We're going to move this process launcher into its own thing here. So we are going to do source, new folder, process. We're just going to call it launcher-pp and launcher.cpp. Launcher.cpp. So we're going to yoink all this. And then move it over here. This is not actually how it's going to look, but that's okay. Provides us a good start. I'm going to do a good old pragma once. Include QObject. We're going to include QProcess. include Q string. And that'll pull in the Q string list. We need, I think this will come from the process. No, okay, it's its own include. All right, so we have this, and then we're gonna have class process. Now we're gonna call it just launcher. Public Q object. We have that. We're gonna do Q object here. Q object. And don't think we really need much in the way of that. So we'll have an explicit. I guess technically it's parent, but that's really it. Explicit process launcher. Because we have launch applicate. What Wayland protocol are you planning to add support for? Well, at the moment, nothing yet. Not like this second. But the first one that comes to my mind, I mean, I don't necessarily want to bite off more than I could chew, but if probably KD output management, something like probably that. I'll have to see. Because I don't want to invest the time into implementing support for WLR output management. I'm not like the biggest fan of that. So in theory, it'll be the KDE one. But we'll investigate that when we get to it. First, I want to do some like really basic things like getting window lists and, you know, getting what our output information is, that sort of stuff. Basic things. And then, all right, can we then manipulate the output, you know, with hard-coded values or whatever. So we're going to have Q object star parent is equal to null pointer. Yeah, I forgot. I'm going to rename it to launcher. Public. This needs to actually be here. Public. Launch. I'm going to do void launch. I mean, I could literally just copy the function signature here. Like so. For that one, and then this is sort of a similar deal. For that. Oh, you know, the thing that, let's see. I want to see if I have a shortcut for power. No, shutdown? No, okay. So there's no reason why it should have just immediately powered off. Okay. Well, it was an idea. We have this for the arguments. Like so. So we have both of those. And this one is going to be pretty simple. We're going to do include launcher.hpp. And then we're going to have our process launcher, just called launcher. Launcher, colon, launcher. I guess the shutdown key protocol, exactly. I accidentally initiated something I wasn't aware of. Oh. All right, null pointer. No, wait, no, it's just this. And then Q object parent. Just simple enough. So we have that, and then we have these, which we will. This is required process finish. Ah, yeah. So we need to. Well, funnily enough, we're not implementing a new process launcher for each thing. We just have require process finished, but we're not communicating what the process was. Right. So that's not very convenient if you fire off a bunch of things and you have long-running applications and suddenly it's like, oh, well, one of them died. It's like, which one? Well, we'll never tell you because we only have a signal that gets emitted that has information that something finished. You'll never know, though. All right. Well, we'll do this. And then public queue slots. And technically, these are the slots here. Right, something like that. Should probably have information on the actual process, assuming it's... We have a delete later. So I'm hoping we could do something like this. And maybe that'll do the trick. So we will do, let's yoink this. Launcher. Launch application. And then when it's finished, we don't do anything. Ah, right, because it's not a required one. Yeah, that's okay. QDebug, it has no knowledge of. Include QDebug. There we go. And let's pull this. Move it out here. Launcher, like so. Create a new process, and then let's go ahead and process. Do that. All right. So we have no knowledge on this. We'll just call it launcher. Include launcher.hpp. I don't think we are using this at all. Control-Shift-K. Are we using this anywhere? Yes, we are doing it for the run startup apps. Which I guess is fine to do with that. You don't have to launch it through the queue process thing. Might want to, though. Launcher, it doesn't know what to do with that. That is because we are missing a semicolon here. There we go. So queue process, yeah, we'll leave that the same. We don't have to change any actions here. And we do process. Delete later after. Yeah, I mean, that could be called immediately. I don't think the thing that is handling the required process finish should be the thing that's responsible for deleting it. So we're just going to leave this the same. There's... Oh, it's only this one. Okay, launcher. Runner stop. Great. We have all that. We have this Miro external client, so for each one of these, we split them, and then we construct the args. And then for this, we will instead do... Ah, wait, no, that one is fine. It's the other one that's that isn't, so we do queue process here. So we have the split commands, and then we have the arguments. We'll do the same here, same process. Run required. I mean, they take the same thing. Their behavior is just subtly different in that one needs to hook up the launch require. Well, I guess it's one will do just launch application, the other one will do launch required application, and then have the process stuff. Oh wait, no, we do that on, where do we do that? Don't we do that actually up here? Where is it? Launch required application, required Q object. Ah, wait, no, we do just straight up listen at the higher level on this. We could make this simpler. For each application and applications. Invoke with the QArg, or the Q list of arguments. Yeah, we can't just pass the... Maybe we can convert it from a standard vector of string to just a list of Q string. And then from there split it out to args or something. But I feel like launcher as is pretty okay. So maybe I'll just leave these to be the same for now. So we do that, which we were already doing actually. Rip that out, rip this out. If there's no arguments, take first, so we're not going to do that. If it's not empty, we get the first for the program, and then we do a QMeta object invoke method. I mean, these could literally be the same. The run required apps. If I just rename this to run apps. Because it doesn't, like, there's no difference, meaningful difference if it's startup or not. Because I could do this. Did I just delete the required apps though? Ah shit, it is calling something different. Ah, right, because I was looking at the keybind thing, of course. Yeah. I was like, oh, well, we have this here. Run startup apps. This needs to do a similar thing here. We just copy this. We just wholesale copy. And then we just do launch application. Yeah, I'll take the program and then the arguments, which is identical in terms of the interface there. I mean, I'm not really sure how much cleaner that is, but it's something. To start, are we calling QProcess directly anywhere still? Nope. So we could delete this. QString, we definitely are. All this. Ooh. We aren't here. Wait. In this, are we importing it? How the hell did this work? I guess just by the miracle of includes being imported at the right time. This needs to be. This is all kinds of. There's all kinds of wrong. I don't know. Why are you sorting it that way? Stop it. I guess it's its own thing, and then the headers, and then our local ones. Okay, fine. That's acceptable. That's acceptable Clang format. The Mural toolkit things. This is from what? Toolkit event, which are we pulling that in here? We're pulling it in here. Okay. Append keyboard event filter. What does this even... This literally has the append. Where are we using that? Ah, with the run with, okay. So that's fine. Configuration, that's fine. External client, I don't know if we're actually using that. External. Ah, we're still using it for the split args. Okay. What is that even doing? Is it literally just taking the... If I had to guess, is it by... I want to see the code. Fine. So it's external client.h. I want to see the mirror code for this because I get the feeling they're literally just doing a separation by spaces. So let's do, was it GitHub mirror? Let's forget. Canonical mirror. Source, external client. Let's search for external client.cpp. In Mural. So they have a parse env. I'm not going to worry about that yet. Split command. So they have that, and then in the scope they are defining auto push as a function which checks if the token is empty, and otherwise if it's not empty, it pushes to split command, which is up at the top here, the token itself, and then clears token. And then for each command, we're checking if we're escaping, otherwise we're adding to it. All right, yeah, it's doing all the escape stuff. I'm not gonna fart around with that. And looking at the code itself, I'm at what, 240 lines? I mean, that's not even that one function, that's just a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, probably okay. I mean, if I had to guess, the Qt equivalent probably does a similar thing. But you know what? This code isn't broken, so that code is staying the same. Let's do a task format. Right. Shall we do a task build, see if stuff still works? Let's close that. And close that. And then run task build. Actually, no, our CMake needs to be updated. Almost forgot. Keybind launcher.hpp. Launcher.cpp. Task setup. Task build. Source main was file mock, but does not contain QObject, blah, blah, blah. No relevant classes. No output generation. Yeah, I guess we might not need this anymore. Let's see. All right. Task run. And if I do Control-Alt-K, we get that, which is great. And then if I do Wayland display, and then I pass required app as Kitty, you see it auto launches Kitty as a required application. And then if I close it, it should close the window, which is effectively killing the compositor. Let's see. Yes. All right. So that all works. I did not break anything, which is great. And it seems like everything's all right. So we could already. What is in data here? Data schemas. Let's add that to my gitignore so I don't have to continue doing this. When we need this, uncomment data schemas. Hit status. I'll do git add.gitignore, and then we should just be able to start doing git add.git add dot. We'll consider this a chore, split out process launcher class into own file, rename to launcher. Chore formatting. At least whatever Clang format considers formatting. All right. And we'll git push that. All right. Not too shabby. Of course, there's always this bit of like splitting these out. I could have a separate like meta class that has all these. Not sure what the value of that would be, but I suppose if that meta class always had a reference, the parent being the app, that might be kind of handy. Like we had our own meta mirror thingamajig. But whether or not that we would actually use that remains to be seen. I mean, I guess it might be piling everything into this. So we created the meta, we call it like meta runner or whatever. We could, I mean, that would just shift this stuff though, really. This app handling things, I'm not really sure about. This code is so similar. It's literally just this org. Could I have that? We take this. That's just the built-in keys. Could we do this? Launch application. Guess it would probably be here. Look on launcher. Launcher is this. No, you know what? We'll keep this all the same for now. Let's start playing around with some other things in Mirror. They have like add, start callback. When a signal is received, what kind of signal? That's the FD thing, right? For the main loop. Some highlights of the Mural API. Yeah, so they have these like window management policy things and the window manager tools. I mentioned those earlier. The two important things, right? Window manager policy. Functions expect the policy to take action in response, and functions notify the policy that something is happening. So if we grab this, so we would like implement our own class and do public overrides or something. And then use the Mural add window manager policy to add our policy. So we could have logic here. Let's try that. I want to see. So we called it here. We're going to call it mirror. Magpie window policy.hpp. So this is going to drive me nuts. We're going to do this. Do it this way, and then I'm going to close all, open this up. All right. Pragma once, and then we're going to have a We're gonna have a class which is going to be called Magpie Window Policy. This is going to be a window management policy, which is from the window management policy. Yep, that looks right. Like so, and then I forget, can you even do object? Like multiple inheritances. I'm actually gonna look it up because I forget. Can you do multiple class inheritance? C++. Oh, C equals. I want to say if you, when it says it can be avoided, which implies that you could do it. Oh my god. Can I just have a straight answer? Multiple virtual inheritance here. ISO CPP. Oh my god. Public base. Ah, yes. So it's public blah. And then other blah. Shredded diamond base dir join. So this is, yeah. Well, so this would just be dir and join. It's not a diamond. So I should actually be able to do this Q object. Oh, it's probably just complaining. You know what? I was almost, if I do just Q object. Yes. So I was doing it right. It was just, I thought the red squiggly was like, no, you're writing invalid C++. Nope. I was right. Good job, Josh. Pat yourself on the back for that one. And at public, so public is explicit magpie window policy, which is a Q object pointer. Parent is equal to null pointer. Something like that. I don't think subclass by canonical window manager policy, floating window. Oh, you know what? We would want it to be floating window manager. As a matter of fact. Because that's probably going to extend the base functionality. Yeah, we want this bad boy. We want all the floating windows. Floating window manager. Is that an actual policy though? There's going to be a slight interruption in the music. 1 sec. I'll go all the way back to the beginning. Then raise it. There we go. Okay. Base type is the window management policy. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just complaining about declarative operation move. Floating window manager. There we go. Okay. So that means we'll have it be a floating window manager by default. Oh my god, can you believe it? It's almost as if that's like what I don't want to classify them as like normal window managers. But let's just say the typical window manager that most end users would be using. Because I have absolutely nothing against tiling window managers themselves. And then we could add just like public overrides and stuff. Like handle window ready, placing new windows, which is application. Let's see, given the app info. So in theory, we can do customized placement. So window specification override. Handle keyboard events, handles Alt F4 to close the window. Interesting that it's... No, I want to see, is it literally just Alt F4? This would be kind of funny. Is it override? Handle keyboard event. Do I have to explicitly do public? Right. On the Pega with this still, so it's almost as if I've spent most of my time doing. Oh no, it's this handle override. Let's see. And this is a virtual bool, so bool. Right. And I need to turn down the audio on. Actually, it is a little loud on that as well. The music isn't mixed well, unfortunately. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna do magpie window policy.cpp. We're gonna include it, which is magpie window. And then we're gonna have our magpie window, colon, magpie, and policy. We're gonna take our Q object, parent, and we're gonna do Q object parent here. Like so. What is this complaining about? Ah, yes, I guess I need to also construct the mural loading window manager. Loading window manager. Like this. Is that gonna work? Instantiation. Window manager tools. Ah, right. So does our... If I take a look at that function in main.cpp. So we have set window management policy. Does this take in tools? So it's of type law. Wait, what are we even doing here? Extensions. For Wayland extension. So all the extensions are enabled. Were we not doing just setting a minimal window? Implementation of minimal. So what is the difference between... What the... Oh, this is the... Right, so ours is the policy. This is the actual window manager. Oh, okay. Right, that makes sense. Derived types. Minimal window manager. So if we take a look at that, it is a window management. It is a window management policy that takes in tools as well. So we would actually need to take in tools. And it has a bunch of things as well. So if we take a look at the class for that. Curious, what was the other thing that... Canonical window manager policy. Well, we will try with just minimal, maybe? Maybe minimal first? Something like that. Minimal. Delete this. This needs to take in the tools. Which is from window. We're just going to include it explicitly. Mural / window manager tools.h. All right. We have all that. We could delete this. And this is going to be a minimal on tools. And I actually want to hold this reference as well, because I get the feeling we're going to be using these tools. So we are going to do a private am mirror tools. Nah, we'll just call them tools. I mean, how many other tools are we going to have? Window manager tools. Or mirror : : like so. Q object, and then m tools is equal to tools. Of course, this is a wrong conversion of const. Yeah, it's not a pointer to it, it's that. Non-viable conversion. Where is it? Oh, it was. Okay, I was just wrong. What the fuck? The const. Okay. I'm guessing I had accidentally re-put it the asterisk there to indicate it was a pointer. All right. It's actually already getting it as a reference. So we have that. Next, I want to handle the keyboard event. So we're going to do magpie window policy handle keyboard event, which is going to take our mirror keyboard event const star event. And this is a bool. And I really just want to log the actual event. I just want to see if it's true that's only Alt F4. So we have, yeah, we have all this shenanigans. Let me reopen that in a new tab. Get the sim. I guess we could convert this to our Q keyboard mirror keyboard event, right? So we're gonna do auto Q event is equal to event. And then we're going to Q debug, which of course is going to complain that we haven't pulled in. So let's do that. Q debug. And we're going to Q event dot get sequence dot toString. And we're going to return, I don't know, what was it expecting? Keyboard event. True if the policy consumed the event. Okay. So if we want to basically gobble it up for ourselves, then, right, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense to me. It's not going to have any knowledge on this. We'll do, and also we're not even pulling it in. So that's the thing. Mirror / magpie window policy dot HPP mirror magpie window policy dot CPP. And we're going to do main.cpp here. So we have this set window, set management policy. What is it expecting here? Run with initializer list, mirror server options. It's not very helpful to me, to be honest. The standard function, which takes in the mirror server. So this might just need to be our magpie. Is that gonna work? Set window manager policy. Unique pointer. Yeah. It's true, it's not a unique pointer. Let's see how we could actually leverage this with the runs with. They probably have documentation on this because, well, it's mirror. The hello world example uses that. 3 of our downstream projects implement their own window management policies that take very different approaches to window management. Each of them provides a custom implementation of the mirror window management policy interfaces. So they have Ubuntu Frame, Mirrorway, and Miracle WM. At some point, it's going to be nice to maybe say 4 of our downstream projects, right? And have Magpie listed there with its own custom one. That'd be kind of cool. That's 2 ones. Handle, which is functions expect the policy to take action in response, and advise functions notify the policy that something is happening. Right. I need to provide functions. All right, I'm gonna do the maybe a hot take here. I'm gonna actually look at what Miraway does. I know, crazy. They probably are doing a run with as well. Yeah, so they are doing Miral run WM. So it is some sort of type. I want to see how did they structure this? What am I doing wrong here with mine? So they are doing public using. Right. Okay. So do I need to do that myself as well? Oh wait, no, because they define it as a set window management policy. Hold on. Oh, it's expecting the function of set window management policy. Right? Or is that? No, it's not. They're doing using, and then they have void handle, like handling of various stuff. Okay. They state it's a public minimal, so that's what we're doing as well. So at least I know I'm on the right track there. They're doing a using, so that way they don't have to specify probably mural for all the things. Or is it because I don't quite understand. I'm lost. So set use of undeclared identifier. Oh, are we just not? We're just not including it. Is that literally it? Hold on. Oh my god, I think that might actually be it. Maybe our code was right all along. Mir/magpie window management policy. No viable conversion from return value unique pointer. Does it need to be unique? So what are they doing? Oh my god, can I close this? Crap. There we go. Go away, GitHub thing. Run with set window management policy. So your mural set window management policy. They specified their thing. Voids. So they're just not doing. We have our override here. Maybe just do this. They're not even. Right. Let me take a look at this. Where is it? Take a look at Miracle WM. What does it do? Run with. Runner run with, and then they have policy loader here. So they have their own thing, which does external client, positive state, display state, magnifier. So theirs is called policy loader. So they're doing a fair bit of stuff as well. Ah, okay, that's what I'm missing, the operator bit here. For calling it directly with the mirror server. It would be nice if, well, before I open my mouth, let's see. It'd be nice if they had a how-to guide on that. I should provide that feedback. Like implementing your own, effectively what you need to do, which is, okay, it gets called in this way. So we need a void operator mirror server. This is going to come from mirror, I think, server. Or is it literally mirrors? Where is this from? Mural? Is it just mural? Mural cold core mirror? Server? No, so it's from mirror. Let's see what our headers are. Mirror slash fatal, abnormal, blah, blah, blah. Flags.h. Inputs. So they're including render GLGL surface. Well, let's see. Let's open up user include RG server. There's only so many. Oh my god, I was wrong. Oh no. Mirror slash server. ls mirror RG mirror server. Here. What the fuck? You know what? We're just CD. Wait, what? What do you mean it doesn't exist? Oh, is it mirror core? ls mirror core. ls mirror core mirror. Okay, so it's not in that. ls mirror common mirror. Let me just scroll up to where we have boost, Qt6. All right, it's gonna be easier if I literally just search server, because it's gonna have a reference to what the header is. Right? Well, I would expect equals mirror server. X11. Mirror class server namespace. Wait, and the X11 support. What? Excuse me, what the fuck? Mural slash X11. Christ, it is there. Why? Okay. Sure. You know what? I'm not going to debate it. We're just going to move along, right? It's I'm sure there's very good reasons for it. Is this even right? I guess we'll find out. Void operator. I'm going to take the mirror server. So they are doing a config operator. But what is config for them? I'm guessing it's literally their configuration. Miracle configuration. Okay. They have options, which is their add window. So they add the policy here. They have a loader. Add window policy. Whereas ours is set. Add. What do we have available to us here? Funnily enough, this is, oh, yeah, set there. Must be non-static function. Do we even do anything with this? What does this take? Args, make unique, pass the tools, unique pointer. Argument set window policy. Return this set window manager policy. The arguments where you pass in the window manager tools, unique pointer window management policy. Return a standard unique policy of the tools and the arguments. Is it? Go up to this. Minimal. I mean, I would expect that. Is that even, would that even fix it? No. I've typed this. Or can I just not do this and include it here? Takes all the arguments. Set window management policy. Okay, I'm gonna close this for now because I need the extra space in this window. Template of policy to arguments. And returns a unique policy. What about Ubuntu Frame? Do they do something simpler? Run with. Display. So they do set window management policy of type frame window manager policy. Okay. Which is from frame window manager.h. So in theirs, they have a class which is, all right, so it's using, is the problem this, that we're not doing the using thing? Public using mural window manager. Window manager. And then Magpie window manager policy. Takes the tools, okay. we do that, a reference to Window Manager Observer, which I think is their own thing. I don't think it's easier if I do this. Let's open this up here and go source. And frame main, I think is what it was. They are creating it here. Yeah. Right. So they have the window policy. This is terrible to use. All right. They have snap surface. I don't think we have to worry about that. We have a thing here. I wonder if the issue could be the fact that we are... No, it can't be that. We have it as the first thing, so that should be fine. I was going to say maybe the QObject parent, but no, they're doing a similar thing with the Window Manager Observer. Now, they're overriding everything, but I've seen plenty of examples where we're not having to do that. Are they overriding the operator for equals? For the function, I mean. At the very least, not here. They have like a bunch of private stuff, which is fine. Do they have a class within a class here? That's something. Public mural, yeah, that's what we're doing. Well, let's check there. Let me open this up, I guess. We want the another tab. Frame window manager. Which is, we're going to look for policy. So it takes the tools. Right. Which is what we're doing. Taking the tools. Which is the window manager tools here. Yeah. And don't need any of that. We are then passing the tools to the minimal window manager. I mean, technically it could be like this, you know, but it's whatever. And creating observer, don't have to do that. So they have all these overrides, which, oh shit, is it literally just because of this? If I want to take a look at theirs because they are overriding the handle keyboard. They're just doing return false. So basically, they're not doing anything for that. Function U pointer window management policy. No viable conversion. Magpie window policy. The function return type. We need pointer window management policy. Okay. Let's just continue hunting around. We have advised stuff. Placement, try. What am I doing wrong here then? Display config. I mean, I guess I could specify app. Isn't that what our top level is that we have? Yes. Set window. So they have their Wayland extensions, display config, layouts, key map. They do always CSD. Interesting. Whereas I have mine set to prefer SSD. I'm not really fussed either way. It's not really the point of this exercise, but they have a background client, which is their window right? So that's how they're observing like required shit that needs to run. I see. They have, no, they literally have a background app for running. Oh, okay, that's actually not a bad idea for the wallpaper. You probably wouldn't do it that way. You'd probably rely on layer shell, but yeah, I guess you could just probably make a surface or something. Set weak ref count. What the fuck? Do I have to implement every single one of the functions? There's no way. No, there's no way. They're not doing that. Raise. Extensions. Okay, guys, I hate to say this, but I'm gonna open up the AI control panel for this. I know. I'm trying here, alright? I just don't fucking understand. At main and Magpie window manager policy .pmac window. Let's see. I know you can't really see the text, and no, there's an easy way for me to zoom in on that, but it's thinking. It's thinking real hard. Maybe. I am logged in. It would be nice. Well, I'm going to keep looking at their examples. See if there's something obvious here. Oh. Public. What? Hold on. Are they doing that in theirs? Are they explicitly saying that's public for each of them? Let me go back to frame. Observer. They are specifying as public. So this actually might not be that far off. Let's see. Whoa. What does it want to do here? Q thread reference to app. Oh yeah, I guess we're not referencing the app here. Might just be this. Management policy. Q object first. Is it going to tell me why? I mean, I could give that a shot. I don't think that's changing anything. I don't even think it knows. What I might do if I can't figure this out is throw it in a branch and ask if Alan could take a look because it's not obvious to me. I'm gonna do something here. Takes the app and then returns a standard unique for it. Let me double check the function call here in main CPP. Impulse. Oh wait, no, this is the wrong. This is a miracle. I want. Yeah, it has no fucking idea either. Background client, extension, runner, internal client configuration options. So it is just called, yeah, because we're doing the using name. So this would be Miro : set window manager policy. Whoa, what is it? What are you doing? What in the fuck? It's now it's actually just going around in circles. Well, let's just compare it to what they're doing. I'll let it cook and I'll do my own cooking here. Well, what are you trying to change now? Q object parent null pointer. So you're wanting to rip out Q object. I mean, sure. It's not really going to help me at all, but... Alright, I'll just stop. The solution, according to it, is just to not have Q object there. What if I do public Q object? I mean, it might actually be the case. If I save that, have this, we have M tools, we do Q object parent. Because is it only expecting? No, I mean, it's doing its own thing here. So I know it has to be first. Like, that one's pretty obvious. If I do Q object parent is equal to null pointer. I know I'm just literally redoing exactly what I did, but we have that. We do Q object pointer parent, which is this. We aren't passing it here. We just do app. The moment I do app, it freaks out. Does it have referenced app? As referenced app, this is a new core application. Constructor. We have no viable function internet. If I do this, and like just something like this, app tools. Do I have to respecify tools? is okay, but I want it to be. Interesting, it's only in write mode. It's not providing any feedback. So it's stating policy there, public, using that. Then saying, okay, we have a frame window manager policy here. Passing that as a reference. Like so. For window manager policy, or window manager observer, is this. It's like this maybe. That doesn't change it, of course. It may just be that it doesn't like QObject. Maybe the QObject is overriding one of the operators or something. That would actually be my guess. I mean, there's another jank way I could do this if I need reference to the app, which I might not need. So let's literally just try to make some forward progress. This AI was not helpful. I figured it wouldn't be helpful. It's also, can I just freaking close it as well? And no one is surprised. So we will just have this. We don't need any of the QObject things. It's not going to match. Like so. We just have a reference to tools. And we'll just do that. Let's just see if that works. Expecting this. Yeah, that's because of this. There we go. Okay, let's do a task build. And the whole point of this entire exercise was literally just to see if we could get the key sequence in a window whenever we are. We do task run, Control Alt K. So I'm going to press A, nothing, A, nothing, A, B, Control, Alt. We get Alt, but we don't get Control. Do we get Shift? We get Shift. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. Do we get... let me go back to console. Is it literally just for F4? F4. No, we don't even get that. So how are you supposed to know if you want to... Do I get Q? No. That is so weird. Alright, well, if that doesn't provide useful information, which is a handle keyboard event. Handle a keyboard event originating from the user. What happens when I do true? I want to see. I would suspect that it never sends it to the application. Oh, it would help if I built it first, though. Just build it. All right, Control Alt K. Oh, I can't launch because it isn't. Well, okay, that works. Sure, that works, but it's so weird. We're not getting the sequence from the event. Handle pointer event. Advise new app. Pointer window ready. I mean, that's going to be kind of problematic if we have a surface focused and we call something like a keyboard shortcut that we have. And we don't get the event to gobble it up. But is that because of our built-in keybinds thing? So we're doing false here. Return false. If it's down. I'm gonna toggle this off. I just want to see. Where's the toggle? Toggle. Comment. Toggle comments. No. Slash. No. Fine. Fine. I'll do this myself. Right. I suspect that this isn't actually what's causing it, but I'd rather rule it out, you know, rather than waste a bunch of time. Control Alt K. Control K. Control Alt V. Oh, right, because we're not. Oh shit! All right, well, I'm gonna have to do the run. Fortunately, I have a method to this. All right, so I'm gonna do this. We're gonna run required app. So we're gonna do A. So we are not even getting that debug message. B, control. Why aren't we getting that? We have the window manager policy. Hello from Tampere. Oh, hello. So we have the handle keyboard event. Right, but this is not, it's not triggering. What the hell? Let's just do app. Is there something to do with that? No. Do I have to, if I don't have this in focus and I close it, just close the window. All right. Well, like, rerun it. Oh, maybe I never built it. Let's see. A. No. Nope, 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 nope. I broke things. Control Alt K. That works. But our handle keyboard event is not triggering at all. Handle keyboard event. Let's see. Handle keyboard. Originating from the user. Well, what about handle pointer event? Let's see what happens there. We're gonna do bool magpie window policy handle pointer event. This is a mirror pointer event const event. We need to update our thing here. Bool handle pointer event, which is a mirror pointer event. Const star event override. So let's take a look at what the pointer event has. Motion, so geometry position, which is a standard optional geometry of a point F. All right. So we're gonna do auto pause is equal to let's see, event dot position. Oh, I'm not including it. That's why it's having a hard time understanding. This is from window management policy. That should be getting pulled in, but we'll pull it in anyways. Include. What the hell? Returns. Let's see. We have the same deal for the keyboard event. It's just a structure that we convert. Here, pointer event. Just return true. Actually, it would be return false. Just have that there for now. Action buttons. It's a mirror input event. Structure. This is, let's do an RG on this. RG. Where is this actually being defined? Mirror input get pointer event from the mirror event. So that just returns the mirror event. To pointer. Oh, so it's mirror events, pointer events. From mirror common. Because I get the feeling I'm calling the right thing, but mirror events, pointer. But it's just not understanding. Have an event here. Yeah, okay. It was literally just that. I thought so. I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. Oh, we'll do this. If pause dot has value, we'll do auto. Actually, I always like to call these pause options. Pause option. Pause is equal to pause option dot get value. Well, technically just value. So this is going to have our generic point. So let's see what that contains. Pause X and Y. Q debug. We're going to say X. Pause.X. Y. Pause.Y. And then this is a float. So I need to convert that Q string. Of course, it has no idea how to even do that. X of T, right. I accidentally just operator overload is ambiguous. Yeah, I understand that because it doesn't understand field X and Y. Let's convert that to a Q float. Well, actually, no, I might be able to just convert that to a Q point. Point F. Pause X. Pause X and Y. Q point. Q point. Yeah, we construct it, and it's going to be a Q point F. Q point F. Because it's a floating. Which is from Q point F, not this. And also, I really don't like it. Q point F. All right. I mean, seems like I'm doing that right to me. Or do I have to construct it? Auto P. Go to Q point FP. P plus equal. This would be pretty silly if this is pause dot X. Pause dot Y. No. I don't want to fix that with assistant. I want to fix it with brain. Set X, set Y. No matching. From core. There is an issue here. Mirror events thing not found. Really? Because I see it. Input of it. Do I need to pull in mirror common? I bet I do. I feel like that should be pulled in from Mural. Let's see. We'll do this. In the root CMake. Package check modules, mirror common required, and it's an imported target. All right, we have that. Clean up some of this new line, and then we have package config. This. Let's just run a task setup and see what happens. Right, so it is failing on that. No matching function call to Q point F with that as a float. Yeah, it's their stupid geometry thing. Let me do Q pointer. Position, standard optional of this. Their own special Q point F, which is a generic point. X and Y of type T. Is this as simple as defining? Oh, it's X float. That doesn't seem right. I mean, I understand what it's yelling about, but no matching function. Mirror generic. Let's see, mirror geometry generic Y float. Oh, is it position? This is annoying. Mirror event. Why can't they just have X and Y? Buttons and actions. Nothing related to that. All right, I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the thing. Sorry, guys. Where is it? Here it is. New chat. New. What? Is that Asian? This is what happens when you work all day and then your brain is mush. You fall back to stuff that probably won't even fix it to begin with. It's real. No known conversion of their tag to real. I mean, that I understand because it doesn't know how to convert their type to ours. I am also, you know what we could do? They could take a look at this and see, do they have a handle pointer? They don't have a handle pointer here. Does Miracle WM have in their policy loader? Oh. In their policy loader, do they have a thing for handle pointer? Why are you wind up? Okay. They have a move service. All right, so they have a resize thing, which takes an X and Y. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? Mirror pointer event access value. What would you prefer? I don't think either of those is going to work, but alternatively, if you make the change, what? I don't think either of these is going to work, but let's find out. So it's this. Yeah, exactly. Because it's not related to that. So it's mural toolkit, mirror pointer event access value. What the fuck does this return? Auto, we'll do it. Auto X is equal to mural toolkit. If I could type mirror access value. Retrieves the access value reported by a given pointer. So if we do event, they're doing mirror pointer access, mirror pointer access. Mirror pointer access X. What is this value then? Just variable, it's of type float. Auto Y, just yoink this, do the exact same thing. Y. Dickheads. Why have your own stuff for this? Why couldn't you just have it be a float to begin with? Oh man. There's so much in this mirror toolkit that I do. Let's see, mirror. Where is it? Before I lose my mind more. Let's pull this up. Mirror, : toolkit. Toolkit. That's mirror, : toolkit. Yes, we'll just grab one and file toolkit event. So they have, yeah, all of that. I remember the whole down thing not working though with the like the keyboard stuff, unless you're using like the modifier. Let's see if can we get pointer changes. Task run. Whoa, we are? Yeah, those are some logs. Can we do it while we have an application open? Yes, okay, great. Well, what this means, we're not, we're eating it, aren't we? No. We shouldn't be. What was it expecting for the filter? Handle. Too much open. Too much. Mirror window management policy. Handle pointer. True if the policy consumes the event, otherwise false. Right. So I'm not consuming it. I'm always returning false. So why isn't it letting me move the window? Like nothing's happening there. If I return true, what happens? Is it just getting eaten, like, regardless? Control Alt K. No. There's like no change. All right. So I guess do we have to actually be the ones to handle the pointer event in terms of, well, actually, what happens when I comment it out? If I comment out here and here, and I rerun it, or task build and run, am I able to move the window around? Because I wonder, is this just like because of the policy I chose? No. I would expect that if it's false and it doesn't get consumed, then it would fall back to the... Oh, but I'm overriding it. So I wonder, is there like some behavior on the parent minimal window manager? I don't suppose it's... handle keyboard event. Like this. That. This isn't the one I wanted, but I don't think this is actually going to do the thing that I'm expecting it to do. But because I mean, this is the handle pointer event. But yeah, we gotta try. It's all about experimenting, anyways. Yeah, it doesn't like that, does it? There we go. Run. Control. Okay. All right. So we're just like, we're doing, I mean, it makes sense. We're doing nothing instead of calling the, like the parents. But I feel like this is, hold on. Let's see. Yeah. So that might have been what was happening with this. Is if we aren't consuming the thing, then it's not passing it off to the keyboard event and then not passing it off to our handling of the keyboard stuff. Maybe that's why. Let's see. We're about to have a lot of noise. I should have maybe Control Alt K. And then if I do Alt, A. No, nothing. Okay. It is, I have to say, not great that we are not handling the keyboard shortcut, handling the keyboard events this way. Like that we can't. We can't just get every single keyboard input that's provided by the end user. It seems to have to be, if I do Control Alt and then B, like what is that logged by? You know, like it didn't trigger anything. I close the window, Control Alt B. Okay, so it's trying to launch Vivaldi, but Vivaldi's exploding because it's Vivaldi. Right. Well, what I could do is I want to try this. So we have, I remember, because the one thing I did actually want to implement was the behavior. I could show you if I open up my Budgie desktop settings. I know it's quite small, but I'll describe it. So on the left-hand side, we had this sidebar with Windows here as an option. And then we have this window focus mode, and it says choose how Windows receive focus. Click to focus, sloppy to focus without raising windows, and mouse to focus without with raising. So if I do sloppy, and I go here, you can see suddenly my cursor is right here. You can see it blinking. And then when I highlight, you can see the visualization of Budgie desktop settings changes because it's now in focus. And that is without changing if the window being raised or not. So I actually want to implement that in our Magpie. Now, it's quite likely that this actually already exists in a mirror policy. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. But I do want to see if it's something that supports. Focus stealing allows the shell to enable or disable focus stealing prevention. So this one is also good. And I mean, we're going to be overwriting this anyways. But because we have to pass the tools, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. To me, I hate Windows focusing steal. Like doing so, if you have a bunch of applications that are, say, auto starting, right? You're typing to somebody and suddenly a new window pops up. It's like, all right, well, that window suddenly has focus. And that could be pretty annoying. Now, I am concerned that the downside of turning off, like preventing focus stealing, is that things like popovers, which you may want to have focus steal, or like the layers that you want to have focus steal, that those are suddenly going to break. So it might be worth us handling ourselves anyways. But it's good to know that they have focus stealing there as an option. But what I want to do is we have the handle raise is on our, I'm going to just implement a light pointer focus change. We're going to just hard code it to be sloppy, right? So we're going to do this. If pause option has value, right? So if we don't have a value, then I actually just want to call, I'm going to do this. If we somehow don't have this, somehow don't have a pointer position, just call the minimal window manager. handling. So we'll do something like that. Because right now I just want to do like a sloppy focus thing. Let's rip this out. Dummy sloppy focus. We'll just call this hard-coded. Hard-coded sloppy focus test. So we have our positions here. And then what we're going to do is they have in the tools, the window manager tools here, they actually have a function for point the window at a given place, which is, ooh, they actually have this displacement stuff. So we can actually handle the drag of windows ourselves, which is interesting. So we might actually need their policy. But of course, we don't know if we're actually holding the title bar yet. So window at. So this takes a pointer, the cursor. So that might actually just be our event position. So I'm going to do auto window at window below cursor is going to be equal to the tools dot windows at or window at, and it's going to be our pause. I suspect it's a point. All right, do they have a thing for this? It's in toolkit event. So that's event access value. We have to construct a point, which is a mere geometry point, or a point int, whereas this is a float that we're returning. Get pointer event we have, but there might be something already for this point FFF to pay respects. Yeah, so they had that displacement F window at. So we need to convert this to a mere geometry point. I'm going to assume it's int x, int y. So if we have anything, so if window below cursor, we have resize, move to. Nah, I'm not quite wanting any of those actually. How can we determine if it is application? Checks whether the backing surface is valid or not. This will return true if the window was default constructed, or if the surface backing it is now invalid. So backing surface is not valid as default constructed, or invalid, or surface is invalid. It's invalid. Then we'll want to just handle do this again. This is probably not the efficient way, the right way of doing this. So we have that. But at that point, we know we have a valid window. So then can we focus we don't want to erase it. Modify window, place, create workspace. So for each of them in the workspace, move cursor to. Select active window. Not all windows can become active either because of their type. So I wonder if that is effectively indicating to. We'll do this. No, actually, we could do it this way, right? Tools, select, tools.select, active window, and tools dot can select window of window, window below focus. So if we could select it, and if we can select the window, is this gonna work? Window const hint. Hint, the window hint. Not be bound. Oh, right, yeah, it's because I'm doing the wrong thing. What's this? Can I try this? Let's see if this works. Task built. Task run. Oh, that blew up. All right, well, I guess that answers that question, huh? I bet this is the universe. I get the feeling the documentation might not be correct. At least that's my copium. Documentation is probably correct. Oh, okay. I mean, it's not crashing on that, so Control Alt K. So we have a window there. All right, Control Alt B. Oh. Oh. I mean, this is the select active with raising, which we don't want to do. But shit, look at this. I mean, we have raise working. This wasn't the goal. Well, we have it working. Focus on raise. Nice. Cool. All right. Well, that's interesting. Can I, like, not? ID, window, info. Can select, yes. Okay. Window at, can select window. Raise the window. I don't want to do that. What's the window info? Modify the provided window with the modifications. So I could specify different modifications. Window specification class describes a request of changes to be made on a mural window. Instance of this class may originate either from the client or the compositor itself. Typically, changes will be made from Mural Window Management Policy and sent to the Mural Window Manager tools modify window to enact the changes. The class itself consists of optional values. If a value is set, then a change on that value will occur. If it's unset, then no change will happen. Good. Which is to say, you don't have to change everything. So we could set the window state. Okay. Placement hints, geometry hints. Minimum height, so you could set different height. That's good to know. Pointer confinement, also useful. So if you have a surface that's full screen and you want to have pointer confinement, that would be nice. Preferred, gravity, parent. There is a lot of stuff here. Attach edges, whether or not to exclude or ignore exclusion. So you could handle focus mode. The mirror, let's see, describes how the window should gain or lose focus. So focus mode is focusable, disabled, or grabbing. Can gain, lose focus normally, and this mode causes the surface to take focus if possible. It prevents focus from leaving it. Not that. Visible on lock screen. Ooh, that's interesting. You have some fun with that one. But that's not quite what we're looking for. Place and size. Some yeah. I feel like active should not. Maybe it's because of this. I'm gonna return. So it was what, return false if we gobbled up the event. Let's see. Get the feeling this is actually just gonna break stuff, but sure. Control Alt K. Right. Control Alt B. Okay. Right. That's not quite what. Sure. Window to select application. Drag, select. Not all windows. Oh, is it literally just changing the active state? Select a new window. That's client for close. Because there's raise. Raise tree. Is there a lower? There isn't. There's a send it back. But that would send it all the way to the bottom of the z-axis, which isn't what we want. It's like we want to get its current. So let's check the window. Can we get the current at Z? Move window. Oh, there really isn't much that you could get just from this. Modify window. Could we get state? Placement hints, gravity. Parent, top left. Size, output ID. Z. No. All right. Well, I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm gonna write these questions down. Let's see. I'll write this one down for Mr. Allen. So select active window. So this raises. I feel like that should be a separate. That should be a separate operation. In my humble opinion, right? I mean, especially if we don't have. Actually, I'm gonna put that. Especially if we can't. Push it behind into the window. Well, we didn't really do any investigation on protocol related stuff. But I suppose the fundamentals of, you know, we have to, if we actually, you know what, before we're going to stop in a moment. I want to see though, before we do that, about outputs. Because we have the window manager tools. I would expect that we have one related to screen. For output, display, screen. screen. It should be just called output, I believe. Output. I think that is going to be on. Yeah, so window advise output create. So if I take a look at the window management policy here, we have advise. No. Window management policy. Do I have to take a look at this? Rectangles common. Output filter. Output.h. Which I think I have open right here. Advise output create. Right. So I want to see, we have this void advise output create. If I could type output create, which takes a what is this, a mirror output or mural output const output. So this is informing us that, hey, we have one. Advise output create, and this is an override. Not that there is really anything to override, but it might be useful. All right, void. We'll just copy this. I can't be bothered to type it again. All right. So we get an output. What does an output contain? Contains its type. Yeah. Whether or not it's connected. So QDebug newly created output. Right. I'm gonna do this. Slash new line. I don't know if that's actually gonna work, but connected. I'm gonna do. I guess it'll just be off by one there. Output. What the? Oh, it's because I'm not including the header. Include mural slash output.h. Connected new line. I don't know even if the QDebug thing will work. I would just, oh wait, of course it does. Brain rot at the moment. Refresh rate. So I do refresh rate is output dot refresh rate. Power mode, I'm not going to worry about too much. I do want the, so that's extent, which is a rectangle occupied by it. So based off position, current mode. Yes, we want mode. All right, so they just have it by extents. They have physical size. We're not interested in that. Mirror internal, which is, it's great. I hope this is a stable ID. Let's actually see. ID. I mean, though to be fair, it's not going to be very indicative. Output.id. Because it's a virtual screen. They typically are pretty stable with their IDs, in my experience. This is a rectangle, so let's go ahead and get extents is equal to output.extents. Extents contains what? It's a rectangle of integer, but of course, it doesn't say what rectangle is. And I'm gonna assume that's probably defined somewhere else, like include mural. Is it like a rectangle? No. All right. Rectangle. Rectangles in class rectangle. Yeah, well, that's multiple rectangles, so I just want rectangle. It's a single rectangle. I'm not asking for much, just a single one. So this is in a mirror geometry. Include core mirror geometry. So we're gonna do what? Include mirror. Let's see, mural maybe? Geometry rectangle. Mirror slash geometry slash rectangle. All right, now we have that extents. What does this contain? Point, blah, blah, blah. You know, I bet there's helpers for this. I'm just gonna sort of rectangle. Yeah, mirror geometry generic rectangle. Rectangles. Mirror rectangle. This is in mirror geometry generic. Rectangle, rectangle of integers. I would expect, what if I do mural, colon geometry? Because what was I doing for this? Toolkit. Pointers. I would expect that. A rectangle.h. Geometry. Mirror geometry rectangle.h. All I want, you know what, let's just stick with this for now. Let's just see what happens with this. Task build. Yeah, it'd help if I was ending that, wasn't it? Terminating that statement. vtable. Size output create. Mural output. Undefined reference vtable for magpie policy. Undefined what? Let's try cooking it again. Window manager policy. If I just delete that? Is it complaining about that? No? Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, that sounds like something for next time then, I suppose. We could investigate how we actually get outputs. We know how we could get windows. Of course, not the operating system, but the rectangles which contain surfaces. And hopefully interesting content like code in Zen or Zed. So I guess the thing that I learned today was select active window for some reason raises when we don't really want it to. It's not ideal. Maybe there's a window manager policy that prevents it, but at the very least, it doesn't seem to work for us doing it this way, which is a little unfortunate. So there's that. I also learned that things are seemingly a bit of a pain in the butt with the manager policy where I can't seem to pass the Q object reference to an app. So that's a thing that I wasn't expecting and spent a bunch of time on. A little unfortunate there, but we learned a lot of stuff. We converted things to QKeySequence, so, you know, hell, like, I should be pretty happy about that. At the end of the day, like, that's a pretty major. And yeah, so I guess that is more or less it for now. I don't know exactly when the next stream is going to be, but I think what I'm going to try doing is exploring off stream the sloppy focus stuff. And then also how I could get more information about outputs and figure out what the heck is going on with this vtable thing. It's probably something really simple related to this advise, because I just added it, so it makes sense that would be the cause of it. But stuff related to that, and yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys have a good one, and I will catch you on the next one.